for and IPMAT Rohtak examination. So today we are on 14th and 3 more days to go for IPMAT Rohtak. So today I'm going to talk only about IPMAT Rohtak, the blunders, the mistakes that you should avoid in the actual exam. Based on the past experience of the students over the last couple of years, we'll be discussing about the cutoffs and the mistake that you should be avoiding. So that brings me to the first mistake, the first blunder that you should avoid is predetermining the cutoff. I always keep on telling students that you should never ever go to an examination with a predetermined cutoff in your mind. What if I would have tell you in 2022 that the IPMAT Rohtak cutoff in 2021 was 265 marks, and if you score around 290, 300, you will be in the safe zone? That would be a blunder. You would have fallen flat on your mouth. Why? Because in 2022, the cutoff went up to 306 marks, and the same cutoff for IPMAT Rohtak in 2023 went up to whooping 409 marks. So never ever predetermine the cutoff, because determining the cutoff, I always believe that there are two parameters involved in it. The first, the level of difficulty that depend upon, that's a subjective, and it depends upon the faculty or the professor who is going to set the paper. And the second is the competent level, competition level, or the competency of your fellow aspirants, correct? So, and both of them are not in your hand, and hence you should never ever predetermine the cutoff and go to an examination hall. What you should do is you should attempt the paper to its merit, and that brings to the next blunder that student makes is they try to regulate the attempt. They have that predetermined mindset that I have to attempt 110 questions, I have to attempt 105 questions, 115 questions. They go with a predetermined mindset, and that's the biggest blunder that I would say that a student can ever make. Because what if I were to tell you that this year the paper would be difficult? Then don't you think the cutoff would go down? Absolutely yes, correct. The cutoff probably, what if I say you that paper would be difficult and it would go down to 270 or 280 or 290? Or what if I tell that the paper would be still more easier as compared to last year? I'm sure a lot of you would be hoping for that, but that would be, the paper would be easy for everyone and not only for you. So there is a very high possibility that from 409 the cutoff may go up to 430 or 440 odd marks. And hence you should never ever fix the number in your mind that I have to attempt this many number of questions. You should attempt the paper to its merit. Basically, I always say that you should always look for the low hanging fruits, and that gives an idiom of the day. Basically, it would mean that you attempt the easier questions first, the most doable one, and then come back to the difficult ones for the last half an hour or something. Correct. I mean, I am sure everyone knows about the IMS ABC strategy. So apply that ABC strategy and attempt the paper to its merit. As simple as that. I am sure you have written all the mocks, and we have seen cutoffs ranging from 275 to 380 and 200, 390 also. We have seen mocks of varied difficulty levels. So you should be in the right position to judge the level of difficulty of the paper in the actual exam and attempt the paper to its merit. Let me take you to the third blunder that students make is they don't trust themselves. Probably I would say second guessing. Okay, they don't trust themselves, and while in exam, if they have done some calculation, they will calculate again to verify if they have done it correctly or not. In case of reading comprehension question, they would go back to the passage and they would read the that particular paragraph twice to ensure that you have done it correctly. By now you have written so many mocks, not only Rohtak mock, but I'm sure you would have written Indore, IPMAT, NPAD, so many various mocks you would have written. And by now you should start trusting your instinct. You should start trusting your a calculation, you should start trusting your reading ability. Okay, and you need to ensure that even if one or two or one questions, two questions here and there go wrong, that's absolutely fine, because even if you save, let's say, 5 to 10 seconds on a question or not second guessing, and you are attempting, let's say, 100 and let's say 100 question for that matter. Okay, so 100 question into 5 to 10 second, probably 500 or 2000 odd second, which means we are talking about close to 8 to 13 14 minutes. Great. And forget about 14 minutes, let's say even if you save those 8 minutes, in those 8 minutes probably you will be able to attempt more 4 to 6 questions, and that would eventually boost your overall mark by at least 20-25 marks, and that will be the differentiating factor, that will help you in final conversion. Okay, so understand, remember that you don't have to spend so much time on every question in verifying whether you have done it correctly or not. Don't do that. Just go with your instinct, and you trust yourself basically. So this was when the paper is slightly easy. A paper is easy, a student, you need to be a little quicker, you need to attempt more question. And when the paper becomes difficult, I always say that if the paper is tougher, then the one who is well prepared will come out with flying colors. A lot of students, they panic under the pressure. A lot of students, they panic under the pressure, because if there are 3 or 4 questions which are different, something different that comes up in the actual paper, they'll start panicking, and they will not understand that this 2, 3, 3 or 4, 5 questions which were never you have never come across in the mock, or something different, is same for everyone. So I remember a couple of years back, not in Rohtak paper but in SET paper, uh, there were questions which were added in for the first time in SET paper, that was about the figure of speech. Okay, and the poem was asked. Okay, a lot of students panicked. There was no point, there is no time to panic in those 2 hours of paper. If something is new, it is new for everyone, you just skip those question type. If you feel that it is not something that you are very confident about, skip those question type, but do not panic. What max you can do is, this works for a lot of students. It had worked for me also when I was a student. When you feel that there's something wrong, you are panicking a lot, take a 30-second pause. 30 seconds is not going to make a lot of change. Obviously it would make a change, but rather than attempting the remaining paper under the panic mode, this is better. Take a pause of 30 seconds, and maybe if possible have a sip of water. Don't drink too much water, have a sip of water to calm down, to relax. The most important thing is that you need to be stress free. You should not be panicking in the exam if the paper comes out to be difficult. And you never know, the cutoff may go down from 409 to 350 or 300 this year. You don't know that, you never know that, right? And that's the end of fourth blunder. So the last blunder, and I'll also give you one bonus thing to remember. So the last but not the least, I would say that don't take too many unwarranted chances in the exam. A lot of time what student does is, if they feel that they have under attempted it, they attempt so many questions randomly, they bluff the question, they simply bluff those questions. What if it comes out that the paper was actually difficult, and the genuine attempt from 110 in Rohtak as compared to last year, probably a good attempt would have been around 90 or 95 questions, or maybe 85 to 90 questions. And then you will figure out that, oh, I wish I would not have attempted those randomly attempted questions, so that at least I would have saved those negative marking. You need to safeguard your positive scores, correct? You need to understand that if you are not able to attempt so many questions, it would mean that the other students who are your competitors will also not be able to attempt so many questions. You have attempted so many mocks, so you know that your average attempt is in this range. If your average attempt decreases, if you know that after 1 hour 15 minutes, 1.5 hours, if your the attempt, your run rate, I would say, that has slightly gone down. So I'm sure it would be true for everyone else also, and not only for you. So don't randomly mark anything because you have under attempted something. Okay, you need to trust your instinct. I'm repeating the same thing again and again. You need to trust your instinct, and you need to attempt the paper to its merit. So these are the 5 things that I am sure if you keep this in mind, you will come out with the flying colors. Last bonus that I spoke about was basically one very important thing in the IPMAT Rohtak paper is a lot of question you will come across which will be direct application of the formulas, and I don't want you to be in that mode in the actual exam where you have to think about what was the formula for this particular question. Okay, maybe spending 10 seconds would be a crime in the exam, I would say that, right? So may do one thing, revise all the cont formulas, and I am sure you will still save at least 2 or 3 minutes in the IPMAT Rohtak cont section itself if you simply revise the formulas, because as I said earlier as well, there will be a lot of questions which will be simply straight away application of the actual formula. So last year there was a question based on sine square theta plus cos square theta direct application rule. There was a direct formula, there was a question based on railway, the length of railway track is given, the length of train is given, and how much time a train would take to cross the railway track. So if you know the formula, you can simply plug in the values and you can get the answer. There was a question based on highest power of 5. You know the rule, you get the answer, right? So that's it from my end. All the best for everyone who is going to appear for IPMAT Rohtak. I will see you soon on the 18th of May for the first impression. Then followed by first impression, we will also be doing the detailed live analysis of IPMAT Rohtak, and then at 7 p.m. we will be doing what should be your next step after IPMAT Rohtak. Thank you once again. Bye bye.